COVID-19. Now this video is not another video that talks about what COVID-19 is, how to deal with it and how to stay safe. No, this video is about the future, your future. See, the world is going to change, there's going to be an economic slowdown, possibly a recession, businesses are going to be disrupted and things will not be normal for a long time. The best course of action that's suggested is to isolate ourselves, and that's exactly what we should do. But just because things are slowing down and everybody on social media is talking about how bored out of their mind they are drawing Pokemons and whatnot, things don't have to be that way. The world will change. The question is, will you? In the immediate future, you're going to spend a lot of time by yourself in your house, and what you do with this time is either going to come out as an asset for you or a liability. You can chill, no pressure, slack off, watch Netflix all day, or you could have a life-transforming day, week, or even a month. You can go into quarantine as the you of the past and come out of it as the you of the future, the alpha you. Now, this is not another motivational video. We're going to talk about practical tips that you can put to use as soon as this video is over. And with that, let's start the video. So what are the things that you can do and what are the things that will make you an alpha? Here's the short answer. Read to expand your knowledge. Write to get clarity on your thought process. Eat right to get fit and stay healthy during the pandemic. Fourth, put everything around you in complete order. Clean your room, arrange your surroundings in a more comprehensive way, because your mind is always going to be, well, more on that in the long answer. And the fifth one is take care of your mental well-being. That's the most important thing, and that's the key here, because a lot of you might not be in your house with your family, might be staying away from home, and if you are one of those individuals that's staying away from home and doesn't have the peers and doesn't have anyone and you're by yourself, well, you really need to take care of your well-being. Now I know you're wondering, wow, Jai, couldn't have thought that on my own. Thank you so much. Wow, I know you're thinking I'm probably an idiot because I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know. Which brings in the question that I was talking about, the most important question in between the short answer and the long answer. The question is, when you already know that you should be doing these things and that will make you an alpha and that will be a productive use of your time, why do you not do it? See, the real question really is, why do you stay inactive when you already know all these things that you have to do or you should do to make yourself better? And I think this is the most important question that you should be asking yourself, because if you ask this question to yourself right now during this pandemic when you have so much time at hand to utilize, if you can make that decision of transforming, this will be the best time to do it. You already know what you should do, so just go out and do it. It's that simple. Go out and do it. And now let's move on to the long answer. And as for the long answer, let's dive into individual activities and let me help you make sure that your time is utilized to the best of its ability. And let's start with reading. Reading is one of the most important things in life. That's exactly why we learn it at a really young age. If life is a stool and there are four things that support that stool, I would call it's walking, speaking, reading, and writing. But that's just my opinion. And to help you pay more emphasis on this, Mark Twain has said, "He who doesn't read has no advantage over who cannot read." And it's really important for you to read. On a side note, guys, I've been thinking about what to do with this video. So if you've already seen the channel trailer, if you haven't, you can go see it. You will observe that that video is very engaging and very funny and very humorous, and I've really used humor well to make sure that your engagement is high. But the point is that I've been thinking about doing the same with this video, and thinking about how I could do this to video, but then this thought is just bothering me to the point where I'm made a decision of not incorporating any humor in this video unless it's like very apt and appropriate, because I don't want to engage you guys with humor to talk about you being the alpha version of yourself. Are you trying to understand my sentiment? Because I expect the sincerity out of you, that you actually want to actualize yourself and be an alpha version of yourself. Because let me assure you, no amount of information in this world, no amount of knowledge in this world, no amount of motivation in this world, no amount of guidance or anything of that matter can actually help you be the best version of yourself and the alpha version of yourself if you yourself don't want to do it. So let's go back to the original concept of the video and let's start talking about reading. So reading is one of the most important things, and that's why we're taught how to read at a fairly young age. But what we're not taught is what I'm about to tell you. See, it's a very weird activity. So the act of reading is not as important as what you read. And to give you an example, you could read the entire volumes of Harry Potter, which is one of my favorite fictional characters ever, versus any of the books by Daniel Kahneman. And Kahneman's book will be 10 times or even 100 times more rewarding than the entire Harry Potter series from a utility point of view. Now let's assume that this thought is running through your head. Alright Chai, you've got me convinced, you have convinced me to use these coming days to the best of my ability. I'm going to start reading, I'm going to start making better decisions, I'm going to start making better utility of the time that I have during the next 10 days, 15 days or even a month, and I'm going to start reading. But you know what? I don't have any books at my house and all the bookstores are closed. So, alright, I guess I'm gonna not read. No, shouldn't be like that. I've got you covered. So what you can do is just find a book that you would really like to read, find a PDF. It's very easy to find PDFs these days. I will link all the useful websites where you could find the PDFs in the description below. Also, another thing would be, there is this app. If you're an Android user, it's for only Android users. So if there's an app called Any Books, and that app literally has every book on it, and I don't think you can find it in the Play Store, but there is a link on Google. If you just search Any Books, you'll be able to find that app, and then you can actually read any book on it and get to it, because it's really important and it's going to be really life-changing. Now, so another question that I get a lot is, what are the books that you would recommend if I wanted to start reading? And I would initially like to refrain from giving you suggestions and book recommendations for the simple thing that, okay, so when I started out reading, right, I was also looking at YouTubers that I like, vloggers that I like, entrepreneurs that I like, and what are the books that they are recommending, and then read those books. But what happens is, a lot of the times when these people are recommending books to you guys, they do it in a good sense, and what they do is they tell you to read certain books that are way out of your league. For example, Warren Buffett's best book that he recommends most of the times is Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. Now, the thing with that book is that 4 years ago when I started reading that book, I read 30 pages and I've never read that book ever again. I've never picked up that book ever again. And I don't want you guys to get deterred, because when I was starting out for a year, I was trying, but I was never consistent. And then a miracle happened when I actually just, found a book that I wanted to read myself without anyone recommending to me. And when I read that book, I enjoyed it so much. I was like, okay, you know what? This book was fire. I am going to, pick another book and continue this journey onward. And if you want to know what that book was, the book that started everything was The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Now, that's one book I think everyone should read, irrespective of someone recommending it to you or not. So if you want to start, you can find a PDF. I'll try and find a PDF and link it in the description. Now, next thing on this list is writing, and it's really one of the most important things you can do. Now, earlier I mentioned that I think that if life is a stool, 4 things are the pillars, and one of those pillars is writing. And why I say that is that writing actually helps you cope and really organize your thought process. The thing is that we think very quickly. If you are an above average individual and if you're really smart in general, you can switch ideas and you can come up with ideas like in snap, right? And the point is that when you're really that fast at thinking, you're not able to recollect your thoughts at that pace, because ideas are coming to you, and if you don't record them or organize them, you're going to lose out on the maximum utility that you could have brought otherwise. And that's exactly why it's very important for you to write. Now, another benefit of writing is, so when you engage in funny banter with your friends, you know, there are so many times, like personally this was one of those things that happened to me a lot. So there was so many times where I had so many things to say, but I wasn't able to say it because just the thoughts in my head weren't organized, and that really helped. So writing really helped that, like really helped that. And another thing that happens is, so when you are feeling a little bitter because of those banters, you can also document your bitterness, and then just, you know, like when you document something, it's like poof, magically gone. And I'm not going to talk about the multitude of benefits because I think I'm not the right person to even talk about being an expert on writing, but I will link a few articles that you should read on the benefits of writing as well. Next thing on the thing that you should do is eating right, staying fit. Now, we're in the middle of a fucking pandemic, guys. Like literally, it's a health crisis. Do you really think I need to elaborate on if you should do this or not? And there are so many better fitness experts out there that can tell you home workouts, eating right and whatnot. And to give you a perspective, 21st March was my birthday. I ate dalia for breakfast, pulao for lunch, and dalia for dinner. That's how I'm like really trying to control my appetite and trying to stay in shape and whatnot. So if I can do it, you can do it as well. Next on the list is clean up your room. Now when I talk about clean up your room, please don't be like her. Don't be like her.
का है शनाली देख
है smell तो है. Pooja, what is this behavior?
Pooja, calm down.
Pooja, calm down. Pooja, what is wrong with you?
Why don't you go?
क्यों तोड़ रहे हो आप ठीक तो हो? What is wrong with you?
Clean it.
Now I know you're wondering, भाई सुन, मैंने अपनी मम्मी की तो कभी बात सुनी नहीं रूम साफ करने में, जब तक उन्होंने मेरे को झाड़ा नहीं या फिर वो 10 बातें बोली नहीं, मैं तेरी बातें क्यों सुनती? And let me just ask you one question, and I think it will help you understand why I'm telling you. So have you ever been to a 5-star banquet or a 5-star hotel room, or like a very good hotel room in general, not even 5-star, like a 3-star or a 2-star or like 3 stars minimum, right? When we walk in, we're like, I'm paying for this, it looks great. The reason why it looks great is because everything is in its place. That's why we pay for that experience. That's why we want that. So when you go in a hotel room and you want someone to deliver that service to you, because that's expected, why wouldn't you not arrange your local landscape like that? Because that is what you should expect out of yourself. Because if there's chaos everywhere, how can you ever hope to be in order? More about that on a future video, but seriously, clean your room. It's one of the foundational things that you need to learn as a human being. Organize and rearrange your surroundings. And listen, I know the complaint. You're going to be like, listen, चल समझ आता है, पढ़ाई मेरे को समझ आती है कि मेरी नॉलेज बढ़ रही है, लिखना मुझे समझ आता है कि I'm able to think more accurately, I'm able to arrange my thoughts properly. मेरे को फिटनेस भी समझ आता है क्योंकि भाई लाइक सेहत बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होती है, बट ये तो नहीं होगा. I don't want to do it, I don't like it, I'm not going to do it. And listen, the point is, last time I checked, this video is not about do things that you like. This video is about being the best version of yourself, being the alpha, and you can't ever be an alpha having chaos around you in a scattered room or whatnot. If you don't have the luxury of being able to afford someone to do these things for you, you have to grind till the day you can afford someone to do it for you. अगर तुम्हारे पास अभी opportunity नहीं है, अगर तुम्हारे पास अभी कोई नहीं है जो ये चीज तुम्हारे लिए करेगा, जो कि तुम्हें नहीं पसंद करना, grind it out, get someone. And To be real with you, मेरे पास भी कोई नहीं है, मेरे पास नौकर चाकर नहीं है जो मेरा रूम साफ कर दे और like सब कुछ arrange कर दे and whatnot. I have to do everything on my own. I have to also clean my studio on my own. So really, hustle it out, live your life to the best of your ability, and for you to be able to do that, you have to have an order around you. You have to have a clean environment around you. And lastly, mental health. You see, mental health and mental strength are like invisible shield and invisible sword in the war of life. Your mental health is your shield and your mental strength is your sword. And the rules of this war are, of course, that there is no guns, that imagine an ancient civilization, but you get the point. The better equipped you are with your shield and your sword, mental health and mental strength, the better your chances of surviving and winning at this war. There are two voices in this world. One is of the world that is outside of you, and the other of the world that is inside of you. Which voice is louder matters more. And at the same time, what that voice is saying. And these two things combined will define your life. If the voice of the outside world is of bad faith and pessimism, and the voice inside of you is of good faith and optimism, as long as the voice inside of you is louder of the outside of the world, you have already won, my friend. If your voice is screaming at the top of its potential, good faith and optimism, and you're hearing that voice, half of the battle is already being won by you. Take the example of Muhammad Ali. He announced he was the greatest, and his voice inside, his world inside, was shouting the same thing, that he was the greatest, and he became the greatest, proved to the world that he was, and he did it at a time where it was impossible out of someone like him to do it.
I done wrestled with an alligator. That's right. I have wrestled with an alligator. I done tussled with a whale. I done handcuffed lightning, throw thunder in jail. That's bad. Only last week, I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean, I make medicine sick.
Man, dude.
Yeah.
Ain't no doubt.
Fast. Last night, I cut the light off my bedroom, hit the switch, was in the bed before the room was dark.
Incredible.
Fast.
Incredible.
And you, George Foreman, all of you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him. All of you. I know you got him. I know you got him picked, but the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
And this fact has been reassured by not just me. I mean, I'm not the first person who's talking about it, by the way. And this message has been talked about by everyone who has done it. Because half of the battle is already being won if you are hearing to the world that is inside of you and making sure that that world is saying things that is in good faith and optimism. Now, I really urge you to monitor your internal dialogue, because if you are able to transform this internal dialogue to of good faith and optimism, half of the battle is already won, and that's exactly what it takes for you to be an alpha. Remember, your mental strength and your mental health is your invisible shield and sword in the war of life. And if you want to live and survive and win, you have to make sure you're well equipped. So start your journey today and be the best that you can be, and be the alpha you. So that's the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Things are going so intense. This video was intense as well, and it was especially intense for me to make. With all these thoughts in the back of the mind, I'm just really trying to spread a message of positivity and trying to help individuals come to a conclusion that sure, we have a lot of time on our hand, but we should use it to the best of our ability and make sure that we come out better than we went in this pandemic. And with that thought, I would really appreciate if you could share this with your friends and like this video, and tell me down in the comments down below what your thoughts are. Make sure you press that subscribe button and hit that bell icon. And with that, guys, I think I will leave you. It's it's just so intense. Delhi is gone in lockdown and whatnot, but it's fine. I'll talk about it in a future video or something like that. Thank you for watching.